Picture a studio so confident in its own sparkle that it spends $270 million polishing a single apple. Now picture that gleaming fruit slipping from its velvet cushion, rocketing past the red carpet, and smacking straight into the internet's meme machine wood chipper. That, dear viewer, is the live-action Snow White of 2025, a fairy tale reboot that promised happily ever after on March 21st, 2025 Disney movies and instead delivered a cautionary tale spicier than any poisoned apple on record. Buckle up, we're diving headfirst into the dwarfless minecart wreck that turned rising star Rachel Zegler into headline shrapnel and taught Disney that authenticity isn't something you can conjure with CGI glitter, but trust me, the biggest shocker is still 7 paragraphs away. In early 2024, Disney executives unveiled Snow White as their next crown jewel, a modern empowering remix engineered to woo 4 quadrants, 3 continents, and every merchandising aisle from Target to Tokyo. The release date, March 21st, 2025, was inked on investor roadshows, sizzle reels boomed across CinemaCon, and retail partners signed orders months before cameras rolled. Industry trades whispered that the budget swelled to about $270 million, catapulting it onto the list of the 15 most expensive movies ever produced CBR columns. The Mouse's spreadsheets showed billion-dollar upside, and early focus groups cheered the casting of West Side Story's breakout darling Rachel Zegler. Yet hype, like a silvered mirror, can warp what it reflects. Even in those breathless PowerPoints, an uncomfortable question lurked behind the concept art. Would audiences accept a heroine who tossed out true love's kiss in favor of TED Talk lessons on systemic patriarchy? Spoiler, the mirror eventually screamed the answer. Zegler embarked on a year-long wave of junkets armed with boilerplate notes about fresh perspectives, but it took only a handful of unscripted sound bites to light the fuse. Calling the 1937 classic kind of stalkery and quipping that Snow White won't be dreaming about a prince read like empowerment on paper until TikTok clips spun them into not my Snow White montages collider. Overnight, fandom fissured, conservative pundits blasted Disney for turning fairy tales into sociology essays, progressive fans debated tone, while middle-of-the-road parents simply wondered whether the new princess would still, smile occasionally. YouTube commentary channels feasted. Reaction thumbnails plastered Zegler's face beside the words woke and broke, clicks skyrocketed, sentiment tanked. Disney's marketing dashboards, built to track positivity curves, suddenly resembled ski slopes, and the steeper the slope descended, the more executives reached for seatbelts. Premiere night brought crimson gowns, borrowed diamonds, and a gnawing sense of please don't flop. Domestic estimates trickled in. $43 million for weekend 1 columns, a haul that looked downright anemic next to Beauty and the Beast's $170 million, or Aladdin's $91 million. Global totals sagged at $87 million. By week 5, worldwide revenue crawled to about $185 million collider, well south of break-even territory once marketing costs joined the party. Analysts dropped the dreaded B word, bomb, and Deadline calculated Disney could swallow a 9-figure write-down. Box office headlines alone might have stung, but in 2025, nothing stays in its own lane. Financial disappointment fed into a narrative of cultural rejection, which then looped back to choke ticket sales, a self-reinforcing PR Ouroboros. Round and round the snake went until animation decided to bite too. Mid-April saw the rise of what might be the most potent weapon in 21st century pop culture, a rumor packaged as a screenshot. YouTubers claimed Rick and Morty had aired a segment titled Woke White, savagely lampooning Ziegler's performance. Reddit sleuths quickly proved no such episode existed, but that didn't stop thousands of reposts, sly edits, and AI-generated clips from saturating social feeds. Days later, a similar hoax surfaced about an unaired South Park special. Legacy press largely ignored the fabrications, yet keyword trackers recorded millions of impressions on Snow White cartoon roast. In effect, the internet performed its own parody, rendering the satire rumors more culturally real than the film they mocked. The hashtag #, woke white trended, meme stocks soared, and the already bruised audience perception of Ziegler plummeted another tier. Next stop, rock bottom. Or so we thought. Broadcasting live from Burbank, this is Maria Cortez with an overview of Disney's latest fiscal headache, the $270 million live-action reboot of Snow White, still officially on track for a wide rollout on March 21st, 2025, despite escalating turbulence. According to internal budgeting documents shared with shareholders, the expenditure ranks among the studio's priciest undertakings since Avengers: Endgame, a gamble executives defended as early as last spring by touting pre-sold licensing packs for retail categories ranging from deluxe dolls to theme park tie-ins. Nevertheless, early investor calls reveal mounting anxiety that the break-even horizon has drifted beyond realistic projections following a year of uneven consumer sentiment and broader theatrical headwinds aimed at family audiences. Market strategists caution historical analogs suggest nostalgia alone no longer guarantees turnout, a warning amplified by evidence that the brand's core under-12 demo is fragmenting across short-form platforms. On a quiet Thursday, Zegler opened Instagram Live. What began with a casual wave devolved into a teary, lag-buffered confession of exhaustion. Viewers spammed clown emojis, her voice cracked, sentences jumbled, "I can't keep waking up to this, the hate, you rip me apart." And then the feed cut to black. Within 10 minutes, she deleted the stream, but screen recordings already ping-ponged across YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook YouTube. Creators remixed her teary freeze frames with dubstep drops. Reaction pundits labeled the moment Hollywood narcissism in 4K. The meltdown overshadowed a week's worth of Disney marketing beats. In analytics speak, negative sentiment velocity set new quarterly records. Off-screen, a junior publicist reportedly whispered, "I can't believe I'm paid to watch reputations implode in real time." But the implosion didn't stop at reputations. It bulldozed straight through merchandise aisles. Halloween costumes had been forecast as a slam dunk. Instead, retail trackers logged a 73% drop in pre-orders versus Frozen 2's 2019 cycle, according to internal chatter circulated among big box buyers. Walmart managers slapped yellow rollback stickers on doll boxes by the third weekend, while one Target executive allegedly quipped, "We haven't seen movement this slow since John Carter action figures." Plush toys, backpacks, and tiaras funneled into clearance end caps faster than interns could rearrange them. Inside Disney, spreadsheets once flush with upbeat sells turned blood red. Finance teams trimmed forecasts, consumer products liaisons begged Burbank to greenlight a re-release of 1937 Snow White merch to detoxify the brand. One VP, famous for Zen mantras, reportedly lobbed a stress ball across a conference room. Stress balls bounce, but careers can shatter. Tech correspondent Lin Jung tracks how fabricated screenshots of a non-existent Rick and Morty episode titled Woke White surged through Reddit, X, and TikTok, racking up 9 million impressions in 48 hours, despite Adult Swim scheduling no such broadcast. A sister rumor about an imaginary South Park special followed, illustrating how parody now blurs with reportage. Researchers at DFR Lab traced the hoax to meme accounts seeking engagement spikes, yet the stunt still intensified negative buzz by suggesting established satire brands were dogpiling on Disney's remake. Completion bond insurers, those shadowy outfits that guarantee a movie actually gets finished, allegedly tacked on a surcharge whenever Ziegler's name appeared on a casting grid. Streaming platforms hedged, whispers of a YA fantasy series at Netflix evaporated after the box office belly flop. An animated voice acting deal at a top studio pivoted creative direction. Talent agents started murmuring about an unofficial Rachel clause. If your project hinges on wholesome synergy, maybe don't hire the actress trending for meltdown remixes. That shift wasn't personal, it was algorithmic. Predictive risk models now factored social media volatility alongside line item budgets, and Ziegler's volatility chart looked like a seismograph. An executive at a mid-tier streamer put it bluntly, "Every headline equals marketing dollars we can't control." But even algorithms sometimes miss the bigger cultural tremor rumbling underneath. Focus groups, once enchanted by the promise of an updated princess, now spat descriptors like annoying, preachy, and always scolding. Even kids allegedly muttered, "She's mad all the time." Internally, creative leads conceded the unthinkable. You can't fake warmth with a handful of punch-up jokes about consent. According to reporting in trade circles, new casting briefs now prioritize relatable offline charm. In other words, less viral activism, more bedtime story heart. Analysts wonder if Snow White marks the peak and immediate decline of Disney's billion-dollar live-action remake spree. With studios watching budgets balloon and returns shrink, the calculus may finally shift back toward originality, or at least toward remakes that remember why people adored the originals in the first place. And that brings us to the moral tucked beneath this pile of poisoned apples. Rachel Ziegler's career isn't over. Hollywood adores a comeback montage. Maybe she'll vanish into a low-budget indie that reminds everyone she can act circles around meme compilations. Maybe she'll drop the phone, cut the ring light, and let silence do the talking. But at this midnight moment, her brand sits flash-frozen in a block of internet ice, and thawing it requires patience few studios possess. Disney, meanwhile, stares into its cracked mirror, learning the hard way that authenticity cannot be A/B tested. You can paint social commentary onto a pumpkin, but if audiences feel lectured instead of enchanted, it'll roll off the lot with square wheels. So here's the question I toss to you. Has the remake bubble finally burst, or will Disney conjure another rabbit, sorry, dwarf, from its sorcerer's hat? Let me know down in the comments. Bash that subscribe bell like it owes you rent, and remember, mirrors never lie, but sometimes the reflections hurt. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep your apples organic, because nobody wants a side of existential dread with their fairy tale.